Namaste. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shal Gulhati, Shiva and Mysticism for another episode of Monday with Mahadev. Today, I'm going to share with you a short video about a very interesting sutra from the Siva Sutras in the Shambhavopaya. The sutra number 3 is Yoni Varga Kala Shariram. What this means basically is that there is a cosmic womb, a yoni, a cosmic womb, which gives us deliverance and birth. And when she does that, she gives us a spiritual concussion, a forgetfulness of our divine nature, of our divine origin. We all come from Chaitanyam, which is Mahadev, the great light, the great luminosity. But when we take birth on this planet or in this universe, the cosmic womb gives us a forgetfulness of that divine nature, that we are all coming from the same one singularity, and we begin to think of each other as different, and we think differently from each other. So as a result, I am Shal and you're Rakesh and Jyoti and so on. So the question is, why at the time of birth does the cosmic womb give us a forgetfulness of our divine nature? And the answer in simplest terms is because God creates this universe in order to rediscover himself, in order to learn and play and grow and see what all that is possible for him to experience as a life form, maybe that of a human or a cat or a dog or a horse, and then learn from there about what all the universe can have and what all God can really do. So this forgetfulness is given for a purpose. In order to seek, we have to hide first. In order to seek God again in the universe created by God, we have to forget that we actually come from God. And I would like to give you a modern analogy for this. You know, in the time of Diwali, in the week before Diwali, there is a lot of festivity, a lot of festivals come together. We are buying things for the house, decorating our homes, even making new businesses. And in the evenings, we get together for dinners and festivity and meeting each other. In the north, at least in our households in the Punjab, we have a tradition of sometimes playing cards with our friends in the evening before dinner, just to honor Shiva and Parvati, who also, it is said in legend, used to have a little gambling game or a betting game with each other. Betting with each other in a healthy way can be a very positive thing. It's like you bet each other to a game of chess, bet each other to a game of Ludo, or bet each other in cards just to see who is better at the game. Now, we have a little game called Teen Patti, which is the Indian version of poker. And basically the rules of the game are such that whoever gets the highest card wins. And the highest cards that one can get in Teen Patti is 3 aces. When you have 3 aces, that is nearly an impossibility in a deck of 52 cards where there are only 4 aces and there are maybe 7-8 people playing and they are all served 3 cards each. It is almost next to impossible to get 3 aces. Now imagine if there is a Diwali dinner going on in your home and you have arranged a little game of cards in the festive season, and it is your home, you have prepared the food, the drinks, the beverages, the festivity, you've spent your money, your time, your energy to entertain your family and friends, and then you suggest a game of cards. And as a good host, you offer to do the first deal because the dealer has to put in a little bit of boot money, and the rest play with very small stakes, which are not for the sake of gambling or winning or anything like that, but like I said, just for the sake of playing a game. Imagine if you deal a hand and you open your cards, and the first card you see is an ace, which is a good card to get. And the second one is also an ace. And two aces, which is called a pair, is good to go. You're good to almost win the game. But in any case, you unravel the third card and it is yet another ace. Now, this is amazing. First hand of a first card game dealt by you, and you get three aces, the ultimate cards. And the game pursues, and one or two people have nice cards and they're betting against you or they're playing against you. You can play with stakes or not with stakes. That's not really what matters. You could be playing with token money counters. But you're playing to win. Nobody wants to lose in a game that we have accepted. And the game follows, and in the end there is a show. The other person realizes that you have very good cards and he asks you to show your cards. And you throw three aces on the table and say, well, this is it, I got the ultimate cards. And all your friends and family would get up and say, this is amazing. I mean, this is unheard of. The first hand of a game and you get the ultimate cards. And there is a lot of excitement about this. Anyway, we come to the second hand and somebody else deals, and you open your cards again, and again you see three aces. And a game follows, and at showtime you win again, and this time your friends and family say, this is amazing, this is like a record of some kind, this is a miracle, this is a Guinness Book event. How can you get three aces in two deals simultaneously? And there is a lot of excitement, and people divert the game to the excitement for 5 minutes saying this is amazing. Anyway, and then you do the third hand, and guess what? You have a hat trick. In the third hand, you get three aces again. And this time, at showtime, most probably your friends who are very dear to you, your family who is your family, will say that this is not possible, this is some kind of a trick, and this is not just a trick, you are being mean and evil, and you're sick, or what is this? What kind of a silly trick is this? You can't call your family and friends and play some kind of trick where you get the ultimate cards each time. And they think that you're doing some kind of card trick or something, and it's no longer worth playing the game because you're going to get three aces anyway. So if we get the ultimate cards in every hand repeatedly, there is no game, or there is no play, there is no growth, there is no suspense left for the others. Their game is finished. They say, well, there is no game in this. You are getting three aces all the time. We don't know how you do it. Their game is finished. That is a given, that their game is finished if you are going to get three aces all the time. But what about your game? Your game is finished too. Because if you're going to play a game of cards in which three aces is the top and you're going to get that every time, there is going to be no game. And so it is with other games. If you're playing tennis and you do an ace service every time and the other person doesn't even have a chance to reply your serve, there is going to be no game. And in any other sport or play is more important word here. There is no play if there is no suspense, there is no chance for another person to play back with you. When this is true of games, or if we take, let's say we have a car race and I have a very sporty Safari and you have a humble car from somewhere else, there is going to be no race, right? So in any phenomena, we need a level playing ground where one person is not going to have all the ace service, or he's not going to get all the three cards, or he's not going to always have the great sporting car. Only then a play is established. It is somewhat the same principle in this great game of hide and seek of God. God, who's almighty, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, can do anything, creates the world, creates the universe with all of us in it in order to learn and grow and harmonize and to play. And therefore, it is important not to always remember that we have three aces. This is the paradox. We actually all have three aces. We are all from Shiva. We are all from divine consciousness. But when we come into this world to play out that divine consciousness, to learn about ourselves, it becomes important to first forget. We hide in order to seek. We do not get three aces all the time. We do not get to touch base with our divinity all the time. Except in the cases of great avatars or Mahasiddhas, like when Vishnuji comes as Sri Krishna, he is aware that he is God right from the beginning, but that's a different play altogether because there were different objectives. He had to settle all the kings like Kansa who were evil. He had to see that the Mahabharata came to a dharmic end and many other things. Therefore, he was always aware that he has the three aces. But even there, even in the Mahabharata, we see that Lord Krishna does not actually take his arms and fight the war. He does not actually use his ace service. He's just a guide to Arjun about his own three aces, about his own divinity. He tells him the Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God, which is about Arjun's own divinity. And once Arjun sees Krishna's Virat Rupam and understands that we are all part of the same singularity, he's transformed into playing the game of life that he is finding himself in as a new person. Because now he knows that we all actually come from the same source and we're going to go back into the same source. And that is why we call it the game of the ultimate cards. I hope you liked this video. Join me again next Monday and I will be back with yet another Shiva wisdom for you. Om Namah Shivaya.